Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How
Happy
was
Monday.
your lovely 3 days?
Yep.
We had
Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
we had a very long weekend, but today is Monday, the 21st of March, 2022.
Already. Wow.
We're almost through with March altogether. The time is going by so
Yep.
quickly, but I hope everyone had a great weekend altogether. I hope that you were safe, not partaking in anything that is going to be damaging to your health or wellness altogether. I know a lot went on over the weekend when it
A lot of
comes
crowds.
to a lot of
crowds.
crowds. Not only that, I saw a lot of accidents as well. A lot of
What people are hearing.
accidents. It's just
People are
sad that
hearing.
we keep talking about it every single morning. We keep cautioning persons to make sure that you go out there, be safe, call,
Yeah.
and it's just not happening. Every single day we come on, we still have to speak about this. But I hope you had a good weekend to the FYI family. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I'm Gerard Finance, and with you is Cheryl Duncan. No other than Cheryl Duncan. So good morning to all the folks joining us this morning
Yes.
on the social media
Yeah.
platforms.
Deborah Seeley is here with us and Simone Garway. We see Vashti Magnot. Good to see you, Vashti. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Claire Alexis Chomley Richmond is here too. Gavin Liverpool and Isabella Butters. Isabella, how you doing? Good to see you. Shakira Phillips and Keith Dowding. See Marcia Paul is here as well, and all the other folks. Paula Mattis. Yep. And Anasta Abridge.
I see Sook Chan is here this morning.
Sudhari, how you doing, brother?
Good morning to you.
Yep.
So we have the folks that are joining us this morning from Barbados, from Trinidad. Good morning to all of you folks
Esther Blue,
out there.
good to see you.
Good
Where's
morning.
Wilton? Wilton Blue, Esther Blue, all the blues.
Stacy Mattis, good morning to you, Stacy.
Paul DeAngelo, Paul, good to see you. Thanks for the thing.
Well, I was just about to say, you sound like you know Paul.
Good to see you, Paul. Africa Charles and Patricia Graves, Andy Goodman, Orvin Dawn, Chavonga.
So we have someone joining this morning. I think it's from Colombia.
Wow.
This is the first for us to have
Cartagena?
for someone from Colombia. So good morning to you guys that are joining from Colombia. Make sure that you invite a friend, share the stream.
Good to have Colombia in the house. Good to have you guys. And Brent Mentor. How are you guys keeping? Nicasia Ruth is here as well. Good to have you.
Maxine is locked in from French Guyana. Good morning to you, Maxine. How's it over there this morning?
From
How was
France?
your weekend?
French Guyana, yes. Andrew Cuthbert is here as well, Jarita, and Richard, is it Bacon or Beacon?
Was it Colleen? Sarah Andrews is joining us from Brooklyn. You know, the Brooklyn team is always
strong team. Brent, how are you doing, Brent? Good to see you. Good to hear from you, Brent. Good to hear from you. Simone Garvey, yep. More comments from Simone.
Donna McRae is joining us from Maryland also.
Loretta.
Donna's always here.
Donna, always here. So I see Loretta Roberts as well and Siobhan McDonald, guys. Good to see all of you. Good
Siobhan is one of the one of our New Jersey people, always over there in New Jersey doing good things, I heard.
Yep. Nice to have you guys from around the world, really and truly. Glenford, Gordon, and Shirley and Juice, Etendry. Yep, good people.
Well, we
FYI family.
Most definitely. So, guys, let us know how you spend the weekend. Persons in Guyana that was here. Friday we had the Pagua, and then so we went into this 3-day weekend. Sherrod, I know Sherrod was on, but I took a getaway. I was out and about and out of contact.
Yeah. So, we were on Saturday. We talked about in the podcast, that is. And you guys know we have our podcast every day of the week at 12. We talked on Saturday with some of our, since we missed open mic on Friday, we did it on Saturday, open mic Saturday. So we got a chance to talk with a couple of folks out there. And we were so happy for all those persons who participated. And also yesterday, we were talking about what's happening at the BV, NDC, the BV Triumph, NDC, and some skullduggery.
Well, it has become almost like a norm, but we cannot let it go without having in-depth discussions about these things, because persons would actually believe that this is the way things happen in the country. It's so crazy. I see Warren this morning. Good morning to you, Warren. You know,
where's Warren this morning?
Well, that's a good question. Where are you joining us from this morning?
Where's Warren this morning?
Warren has been
Yeah.
out and
Let
about
us know
all
where you are,
over.
Warren. And Warren was our fan of the week
Yes.
last week, right? And we're gonna have a fan of the day. So many y'all. So we can't just wait once per week to us, but so we can up the ante with the fans, and we can make a fan of the day.
See, he's at Long Island.
Oh, is it Long
Seems a
Island this
little
morning? Great,
steady.
great, great. I actually thought Long Island was just an island, but apparently it's not. It's not. Warren, good to see you, and Margaret Morris, and Carlotta Reynolds, and Pinky Kerr, Junior Ramalar, and Ramalar.
Yep.
Don Barn Baines.
Shared is a little. Shared is not trying yet.
Is it bronze in the house or is Bronx? I don't know.
It's at Bronze in the house.
Bronze in the house. We want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm not
Is it?
sure.
I don't know a place named Bronze.
I'm not sure, but
Doesn't exist. But good morning, Bronze. If it's Bronze.
Sasha
Good morning,
Shrimp,
Bronze.
good morning to you. But guys, we were just asking, like, how did you spend the weekend?
Tell us. You want to
Tell
be
us.
fast. Treat you
Tell
fast.
us.
Is she?
I am
We wanna
because
know.
I'm so excited to
We
see
wanna
how I
know.
spent my weekend. My weekend was I had an amazing weekend altogether
Mhm.
because I was home
Mhm.
and but like this weekend was one of the more interesting weekends of me being home. I
Go
got to
on.
do a whole lot of stuff.
Go on.
I went to visit my persons I don't know
Your home or you went to
persons
visit?
persons that are joining us from overseas. I don't know, like, because I'm from Region 7 Bardic. I go there all the time, but this weekend I had a chance to do more than I usually get to do because we had an additional day.
Mhm.
So I got a chance to go and see my father at Caro village, and so it's just amazing culture. And Guyana altogether is just beautiful to see. But one of the interesting things I found is when I was there, it's more of an indigenous community, and it was crazy to see, like, there was a little wild hog, like, running around with the dogs.
A wild hog. Wow.
Like as a pet.
Mhm.
Right? And that was a neighbor's animal. I was like, it's crazy to see that
The
all
neighbor's
together. So
pet is a wild hog.
yes, most definitely. Most interesting to see when you go around the country, you see so many different things. I think the more you go into indigenous communities, you see a whole lot of animals that you consider wild animals actually being kept as pets in their homes, especially when it comes to birds. Like indigenous people don't keep birds in cages and stuff like that. So you would see like a macaw, like a pet, but it's flying around and going and coming back whenever.
But I'm concerned with the wild hog
Interesting.
because if name is in nature, I mean, like, what?
That's what I'm thinking,
When you
right?
domesticate a wild hog, what do you call it? Just
Yes,
hogs.
yes,
It's we
exactly.
hog. It's we
And
hog.
so that's one of the more interesting things to see there. But it's just little.
There was an interesting video too, a song track recently about wild hogs.
What
It
was
very
that?
very interesting too.
I didn't hear that. Oh my gosh. So I'm a little slow with these things, but
Happy
okay.
Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. But I'm not talking about that.
Brings
But
back
it's
precious
very
memories. How they linger.
but it's like got me wiping my eyes.
Precious memories.
But guys, it was such an amazing experience altogether because it just gives you different perspective as to different parts of Guyana and how persons are. I got an opportunity to go into the interior and actually went on a couple mining camps, gold mining camps.
When you
telling
said
you
were home this weekend, I thought you meant you were in your house.
No, dear.
In the four corners.
No,
And something
it's
happened
different.
in there that was so exciting. That's why I was waiting on.
No.
What
exciting things.
What did you do within the four corners?
I was checking out mining pits.
She was in her hometown. You gotta qualify these things.
I'm
Hometown.
sorry. I was looking at mining pits and what's going on up there, and looking, I must commend. I saw some of the guys that was doing mining up there actually trying to pull back and fix and stuff and keep the environment at a stable rate. Somebody's asking something.
Felton Hosanna says the weekend was great because his birthday was Friday. Happy belated birthday, Felton. Fenton Hosanna.
Good morning to you, Fenton.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
You know, when you have a surname like Hosanna, you gotta be a proper person.
Deborah's out. I don't know if Deborah's making a point there or not. Okay, Deborah again have lots of wild hogs. But I don't know.
Carry on. Carry on, Deborah. Proceed
Deborah's different.
Proceed to that same point.
Deborah's different this morning.
Proceed to that same point.
Oh my
Desiree Simon, Liverpool. Good to see you. Desiree, Lennox Anderson, and John Gordon. all you great people. Good to see you guys. Good to see you folks. I see Stan Bourne is here as well. Glenn Sismingo Bird. Happy New Week to you folks. Happy New Week. Joel Ward is here as well. Joel, great to see you. Love having you, Joel. And all the other folks who are joining us. Guys, don't let me waste time. You got to share the live stream.
We should have said it earlier, right?
And you got to smash that emoji button for us. Guys, do us that big favor as we start this new week. Let's start it on a high note. We hope you guys are fired up. You guys are ready to go. Hope you've had a good week. I see Roy Faria says he's enjoying the show from Maryland. Good to see you, Roy. And we see also, somebody else, they were joining us in the Bronx. The name just swooshed by so fast. Matthew Dennison, Matthew, and Andrew Cuthbert is here. Is it Gazinet Nicholson? Gazinet, good to see you. Gaza.
So, Gazinet is actually a little upset with the bus drivers, and I can feel that frustration that's coming in that comment, that because we've been talking about the wildness on the road, especially when it pertains to bus drivers and the way in which they drive. It's just ridiculous, and we've been continuing to say
such a wild notes.
As passengers within those buses, you make sure that you do not accept substandard service. You make sure that you're not in a bus with persons blasting music that is above your comfort zone. You make sure that you're not in a bus that's speeding down the road doing all sorts of nonsense. You demand better service. That's the only way it's going to happen. So thanks for bringing that point up, that bus drivers on the road is just ridiculous.
Wendy Roland, how was your weekend, Wendy? Wendy, how was your weekend? Don, how is Region 3? How is Region 3 treating you, Don? Don Irwin Cook. Don, how are things there? And Edward Brooms. Edward says, good morning to all. Good morning to all. From Edward. That being said, Heaven Faith, Glenford Gordon, Tessa Isaac Rizani have joined us. And I see Andrea Paradise is here as well. Andrea, how are you doing? So good to have you, Andrea.
Well, I did not see the comment that's coming from Andrea. I see Siobhan McDonald is there this morning.
Yeah.
She said, I told you guys I would be in New Jersey from this week. I would be spending time before going back to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And so
big like that. Tourists, we touring. We touring, folks. And as you tour, we ask that you share the live stream.
Heaven Faith is a little contentious. Heaven Faith this morning. Heaven Faith is being a little contentious more, not as the name says, but she says she's still waiting on this cup.
Yeah. We can get a cup.
You need to sort this out, right? So Region 3 persons, where are you
We're
joining
gonna sort that
from?
Out.
How many persons are joining from Region 3?
Which part of Region 3?
Carl Fordyce there this morning as well. But Dawn is
John says, I know John. John,
Yeah.
right when you bus cross the bridge, you go around the corner by the side street, you bus down, sir. By the back road.
You sending people by
right on there.
Is it Chesney Henry?
Yes.
Chins.
Chisong. I said Chisong.
I did not get that.
Chinsing Henry. Chisong. Chinsing. Where is it?
Listen, good morning, Miss Henry.
Good morning Ingrid to you. King is Ingrid. Miss King.
Brotherson.
How you know Sandra could be? Sundra.
Yes, Sandra.
Miss Brotherson.
Thanks for the simple name, Sandra.
Yes. Amabel Clement. Is it Amabel?
I'm not sure. I see Rowena from Linden is also here this morning. Guys, let us know where you're joining from. So Dawn is saying, Shared Old Road. So
Old Road by the side corner by the back street. By the lamppost.
Oh my
Same
God.
place.
So someone says, Greta must braid your hair. You will look more beautiful. I do not promise nobody. I cannot promise you no braids in this hair. It don't hold.
Braid one side.
It does not hold. My hair is crazy straight, and because of that, no level of braid would hold without some ridiculous looking thing on the end of it to keep it in check.
Braid in middle like a mohawk.
I don't like
or braid like a one side.
A what? We're not gonna be doing that.
That would braid in. May I offer some advice, please? Thank you. My tie.
Coming from the hair expert.
Jennifer has a long comment.
From the hair expert.
Could we pause the comment with Jennifer there? Could you just touch it so it doesn't go? Let's do Jennifer. Jennifer has a whole book here. This is chapter 1. Pull it back. Thanks very much. Jennifer says, good morning to you, Mr. Duncan, and your host, and the rest of my fellow Guyanese. I'm listening from New Jersey, and I do enjoy the morning programs whenever I get a chance, like drinking a hot cup of tea at my table. Peace and love to every one of you guys. Slow down on the roads. Jennifer Crawford. Respect and manners. like the whole of New Jersey locked in here now.
So
Good to have you guys.
I see Turks and Caicos in the house also. Marlon Young says he loved my smile. Thank you, Marlon. I just can't help it.
Where you
You
are,
know?
Marlon?
Marlon doesn't want
It's
anything.
early morning. Where you are?
It's
Where
just
you
a
are?
nice compliment. So Shara, just relax yourself. People appreciate your smile too. Don't worry. So we're different.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Ingrid is watching from Brooklyn, New York. Good to have Ingrid. Bellamona is here as well. Tanya Cummins. Mark DeCosta, good to see you, Mark. Joining us there. Sandra Brotherson is here as well. You got, is it Kaito, is Kylo Tech? Kylo Tech? Isn't it like Kylo Ren? It's one of the, what do you call it?
It's Kylo Tech, and Kylo Tech
Sassy
I love the show.
Yeah. We appreciate having you too. Avril Swan and Sasa Trim. Africa Charles says, you're beautiful just like that, Rita. Here you can swell your head
See,
now.
thank you. Oh my gosh.
You don't know the braids. You don't need the braid. I will
Thank
say.
you.
Beautiful just like that. Just like that. Chisung said her own hair.
Oh my goodness.
Them girls coming out for you, Rita.
I'm thankful.
Your own hair.
I can feel the love.
Shalon Joseph is here as well. Good to see you, Shalon. Cycling Earl says good morning to all. Good to see you, Cycling. Maureen Chichester Paul. Brooklyn is a toss-up between Brooklyn and Jersey. Who got the most viewers here? Brooklyn or Jersey? Who's going to be?
Well, some brats with Stacy says, share you in easy. Well, you don't know the half of it because you were seeing from the distance. Because if you had to deal with this in person, my God.
Let us take Mark's advice. Mark says, don't let us be selfish. Let's share the stream to our timelines and our groups. I think Mark has a point here.
Mark is on point.
On point.
On point.
Spot on. Share, and smash that emoji button as well.
I feel the need to join you.
Share. Go ahead. Go ahead. Join. Smash that emoji button, folks. Smash.
Oh my
And folks, let us know. You have who's our guest who's visiting Jersey?
So
I missed the name.
This person Kylo Tech is saying my name is Calvin Clark from the East Bank Demerara.
So why don't you just say that?
No, I think when you're joining through YouTube, it's however your account name it comes up a little differently for some persons.
But that's our fault. Kylo Tech, good to see you. Is it Kevin? He said.
Somebody's asked something about a side chick, but that comment went by. So thankfully.
Side chick, Alexi, side chick comments. Push back. Scroll back to it. That being said, folks, one of our viewers just let us know that she's spending some time in New Jersey, but she's going back to Florida.
Yeah.
Where did you guys visit? Are you guys visiting any place currently? Are you guys in any place that you're visiting currently? Amanza, very own Amanza, was in Desire.
We miss her.
We miss Amanza terribly. And Amanza is visiting with the Queen. Amanza's in the UK, and Amanza reached out to us, as she does ever so often, and let us know how she's doing there in the UK. And I think we have some what I just seen signals.
I have just seen a comment from Tonica Comments that is saying, I will order a piece of wig for Shara to cover up the empty spot on his head.
Haters gonna hate. Please and thank you. Trudy can lend me some. Trudy got so much hair, so many hairs. She can lend me some of her. Fitzherbert, Jarek, good to see you. Good to see you. He says prayer for my dear homeland. Respect and manners, champ. Fitzherbert, Jarek, joining us there. I think it's from Connecticut. Connecticut. How is Connecticut doing? Wish I was there, my brother. Wish I was there.
We need to actually
take the show on the road.
Yeah, we need to get on the road.
Take the show on the road. We need our own plane. We need our own plane. We can just pack up the team and say we're in Barbados today. Next day we're in Connecticut. Next day we're at the hair salon looking for hair.
Oh my goodness.
And so on. It is what it is.
Yes. But one weekend gone by so quickly. I must say it was 3 days, but it went by so quickly. Like I said, everyone out and about, that's the best place for me to be. It was amazing altogether to see all that I saw. I mean, the whole hustle, all that you see when you go into the interior is just an amazing sight altogether. well, we see things like excavator on the roads in Georgetown and on the coastline generally doing some work. So people say, look, the excavator is doing some. But when you go into the interior and actually look at the excavator work, there's a whole different level of operation up there. It's a shout out, kudos to all the guys that go work
Yeah.
hard in the interior. All the relatives that are there. It's very dangerous work, working environment altogether, I must say. And those guys are extremely talented. Make sure that you're careful out there if you know persons going up there. But a big industry altogether that has been keeping this country going for years.
Yep, and with that, we say good morning to Ali Shaw, Barker, and Ingrid King. We say good morning to Kylo Tech, who says the weekends are never long enough, and good morning to Patricia Sano and Marlon King, Joel Ward,
Yes.
all you fantastic folks. So, as we were saying, Amanda spoke with us recently to let us know what's happening there in London, where she is, and how her work stay, her work, what do you call it? Her work engagement, work trip, work stay. I ain't got the home secretary calling them.
Oh my goodness.
How that is going. So take a listen, folks. Take a look.
One at you now.
Good morning, FYI team. This is Amanda again. We just wrapped up a marvelous week of activities here in Westminster, in London. I'll tell you all about it. Can't wait to get home to share the experience with you guys. Thank you for asking about me. I noticed all of the comments on Facebook when I'm well here on work, and so we'll keep you apprised. Action-packed, information-packed sessions. Had some wonderful visits to the Abbey. We were able to go, well, I was able to visit number 10 Downing. That's where the office of the Prime Minister is, and had some really good interaction with the folks at Scotland Yard. And so it's been a very, very interesting few days. You know, Guyana is on the radar. People are noticing us, and so we have a lot of work to do to really build Guyana into what she can become. So I'll see you guys when I get back.
So that is Amanda from her Buckingham estate there in London. That's the Buckingham estate. Amanda largely in charge.
Well, she has been doing amazing work everywhere she goes. She has been repping her country.
You see, when I get money
well,
like Amanda, I want to have my own estate in London, so we'll just walk out. Hi, guys.
You want to set up Amanda?
My estate at the back, looking good. Oh, yes.
Amanda's an amazing person altogether. She does a lot of work, and I think it gets due credit. I must say that. So kudos to Amanda. Can't wait to have her back with the FYI family. I mean, she's a very important part of this team. So be back home quickly.
There's Amanda in London, and I think she has one other stop before she gets back. But she's gonna be checking in with us again and letting us know where she is and how she is. She's going to be checking back. Naomi Jockey says, like, Amanda is the FYI traveling correspondent. That's right. Come on now.
We need to have all of these things going.
That's right. Naomi Jockey, I love that comment. Love it, love it, love it. Olivia McPherson, we see you as well. And Sasha Trim, all you other folks. We have some stuff happening on the trend this morning. But I think there are a lot of stuff happening in the papers. That's number one. So let's start here. Let's start in the morning papers.
Well, there is a lot of things happening. You know, Sherrod has always put me on the spot for these things. But as I go up, I know that when it comes to the morning papers, we've been looking at a lot of stuff that is transpiring internationally.
Correct.
Internationally as well. And one of the things I'm picking it up out of none other than Barbados. From the Barbados today, it says PM Motley names attorney at law Gregory Nicholas as the new government senator. So a lot of stuff happened. You know, we were making some announcements about we were reporting the announcements made in Trinidad and Tobago. I believe
that
it
big
was
shuffle
last
up.
Thursday.
That big shuffle
and
up.
Then here we are Monday. PM Motley is names the attorney at law Gregory Nicholas as the new government senator. So
new face in the house.
Exactly.
Right. Lots of new faces in the house in Trinidad.
Well, definitely, and not even just
new
faces, but new portfolios for persons
Yeah.
deal with altogether. But of course, there is a big issue when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, right? And they're saying right about now is that there was this refusal rather to surrender, and it is basically and when we've been looking at this situation with Russia and Ukraine, we keep saying that we're covering it basically because there are implications around the world. We know that Zelensky is currently saying that he's ready for negotiations with Putin, but if they fail, it could mean a third world war. We're taking that quotations directly out of CNN. So CNN is reporting Zelensky, quoting him saying, I'm ready for negotiations with Putin, but if they fail, it could mean a third world war. And so these are the things and the implications of the fight between the war between Russia and Ukraine. We have been feeling it throughout the world. And if it continues and if there's no mutual understanding agreement that is met between those two countries, then we fear for the worst.
Yep, yep. And folks, don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
If you're a good reader of history, then you know that the First and the Second World War weren't easy. Lots of people lost their lives, and we don't want to head back there at all. And if my history is right, First World War was in 1914, I think. The second was 1939. So if you go back and you read that a good 40 years of history there, a lot of major upheavals that brought us to where we are. And we always say that we're not going to go back there, and we'll never allow that to happen. And it seems as though we've gone back there so many times.
Well, we definitely need to keep tab on what is going on, because we don't want to be in a situation in which we have to suffer more dire consequences in Guyana and around the world, and more so that we don't want a situation in which more lives are being lost in between Russia and Ukraine. So many Ukrainians have lost their lives needlessly, pointlessly, I would say. So we hope that that situation actually comes to an end pretty soon, rather than escalating as it is being, as the assumption is being made right now, if the negotiations do not go through. And we've been speaking about negotiations, several talks over the last week, several sets of talks, negotiation teams set up, but they haven't been getting any real solutions coming out of those discussions altogether. So most definitely we understand what Zelensky is saying here when he says, I am ready for negotiations with Putin, but if they fail, I think that's the most important part, but if they fail, it could mean a third world war. So we continue to follow that on CNN, on BBC, Al Jazeera, and all the other international news agencies that we follow during the mornings.
Yep, and while that's on the international front, you got a number of stuff happening home, health-wise. The administration indicating that they're going after fighting some key diseases that have been left unattended. COVID-19 seems to have sucked the air out of the room, and lots of other issues. So there's that on one hand. There are some flooding issues at Hague Back Dam. On the other hand, on the Pomeroon as well. All of that.
Well, when it comes to the flooding, I'm just going to segue a little bit from that in particular, because yes, there is a flooding there that is affecting persons and their economic activity when it comes to how farming and all of those things. But it took me to a conversation I was having during the course of the weekend when it pertains the flood relief that was given, and that set of money that was distributed, and the fact that persons are still complaining up to today that having a farm and all of those things that was destroyed, they did not get the money, and basically political directives was given to where that those money should be distributed.
So a lot of
still up to today,
a lot of people still got a pink slip.
A lot of persons still have that, and it is just crazy to know that even local representatives within the regions would have told persons that they have to go talk to this party representative in order to see if they are going to qualify to get this money. So most unfortunate situation there altogether. We've been talking about it, basic corruption. Let me just not say most unfortunate. It's basic corruption, and we need to call it out as it is. And we hope that this doesn't see too many reoccurrences, but I'm pretty sure that it is going to happen again. I'm pretty sure the persons that that are in need of aid will not be getting it, and persons who did not was not affected by things like flood and so forth will continue to receive benefits because of political association. And that is the sad state of where things are right now.
Yep. And as you guys join the program, we want to say welcome. Those of you who've just joined, and we want to encourage you, the hundreds of you who are watching us, to share the live stream. And you want to smash that emoji button as well. We want other folks to be able to benefit from the information that you guys are receiving. So Marlon Young, we hope you've taken the opportunity to share the live stream. And Donna McCrae and Michaela Webster, good to see you. Please share the live stream as well. And Mimi Hendricks, Mimi, how are you doing? Good to have you back, Mimi. Good to have you back. Trim Boss. Right. I don't know if parents give you a name like Trim Boss.
Trim Boss, good morning, joining from Matthews Ridge. So good morning.
Matthews Ridge is in the house. Good to see you.
From Matthews Ridge this morning. I like to see when these areas are actually joining from online.
My grandparents and my father's side, they hail from Matthews Ridge.
Nice,
my father.
Nice.
My grandparents and my father.
Guys, it is very important for us to reach. Our reach is very important. Some persons are joining from Matthews Ridge in these areas. It brings me a lot of well, not comfort to that level, but that a satisfaction that we are getting to these places. The reach is expanding altogether. So welcome, and make sure that you join. Encourage other persons to join also that reside in Matthews Ridge.
Always
a pleasure to have folks from those areas.
Great to have you guys. And those are just some of the issues that are making the morning paper. Some of them we're going to cover in our morning trend with you guys, but those are just some of the issues we wanted to touch on. That are some of the headlines that are making the morning papers. Yep.
And so I see it's Natasha is saying good morning from England. She says, I'm late today. I know Candy Nalini Inderjit was saying, I'm late, I'm now here. So, hey,
Candy, what delayed you, Candy? We were holding for you all the time. We were holding. Good to have you, Candy. Good to have you. And the morning trend, we got a couple of things we want to share with you guys. On the morning trend, just a couple, not plenty. A couple. Yep.
Sharon's going to walk us through the morning trend this morning.
One of the good things we're seeing, Twitter, as you mentioned that, thank you. I'm going to walk them through.
Yes, you are.
The GREE services registration site is to open today. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy.
It feels a little bit progressive when it comes to what
it does. And we need to get more of our ministries online. Mm-hmm. More of the ministries online. We gotta, people have to fight around too much to get stuff done. But that it could easily get online. Stand up in line to submit a form.
Yeah.
And I hope we can move past just, downloading a form online. To sign it up to have to take it in physically.
Yep, and actually having
submit it online.
Yes, have the ability to track it where it is, at what stage, on whose desk. That is where I want to see things. Well, for me personally, that's the only way that makes sense. And I think I mentioned it before.
You mentioned it to me before.
I think I mentioned it before that was a part of my MIS paper that I did when using the management information system. I think that it is important. I think it is necessary for people to be able to track these things and knowing whose desk it is being held up on. And if that is a service that's provided, I can assure you nobody wants somebody to sign on and say, oh well, your form has been held up on, share it down because there's the last 2 weeks.
Stamping the baby and passing on quick.
Right.
Pam. Approve.
So we need to get to that stage of
efficiency,
technological development.
Yeah.
But not development, usage altogether. Because it's been developed for decades. Right?
No. We were, and you see, that's the whole point. Something you mentioned earlier on Twitter. We were talking about the cash grant distribution.
Yes.
Right? You're supposed to be able to go and push your bank card. Even if you're a farmer in Shelton.
Yeah.
Push your bank card at those banks there in Lethem.
Yeah.
And get your money.
Well, that's given if persons have a registered system.
No, but I'm saying this would have been, and when we talk about some of the missed opportunities of COVID-19, we could have been pushing people, just like how we force people to take the vaccination, force people to have a bank account. Right? So you could go and push your card and cha-ching.
Oh, wow.
Right? But I guess government got to come and, pose up and take out pictures and so on. So that won't afford that. Right? That kind of efficiency wouldn't work. But we could have been pushing people, again, to get on this, because look at this now. We're gonna be talking about all these fiber optic cables that we bring in, but who gonna be connected to it?
Well, that is the
Who can
important
be connected to
question
it?
altogether. That is the important question altogether. And I can tell folks not only that, that connection is just one thing, but a lot of the services, this is going to be a little segue, but when we're talking about this technology altogether, it's like when you go through this country, you will see a lot of billboards up saying 20,000 scholarship delivered. But I have said it 100 times, those billboards was put up before one single scholarship was actually given to somebody. Those are the online scholarship. And a lot of those and there were projects actually taken to the interior locations, the hinterland regions, and in which they were having persons registered online. The persons that do not have no stable internet connectivity, you are registering for online courses and you're just leaving it at that. It's most ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Most ridiculous.
Ridiculous. So I think it would have been a good opportunity for us to have debuted more e-services than we have. But there is still that opportunity there. And again, we must do more with internet than just go on a website and download a form, to have to fill it up by hand, to walk in the door and submit it.
Well, I know that.
All right. So may they lean on you for your master's thesis or whatever.
That wasn't my thesis. That was just a course final paper.
Just a course. So what was the thesis?
Yes.
Girl?
Yeah.
Huh?
I do not know what is going on behind us.
Our sink in the background here, like it's hungry here. The sink carrying on here, the sink like it's hungry.
That's a little scary.
Y'all don't know that green screen. If you ever noted, green screens don't make again. So
Oh my goodness.
unless it's possessed. But that being said, moving along before it's so rudely interrupted by the sink. Rudely interrupted. Rohan Basantram, good to see you. Basantram, good to see you. Rohan, Cycling Earl. Rohan is saying what? The war is good, but peace is better.
Yeah.
War is good, peace is better.
War is good with pieces better. That's a little.
A lot of people make money in wars, just like a lot of people make money in COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people make money
Yeah.
during war. But back to our issue of,
Yeah.
the good that we see GRA is doing here with this e-service.
But
I'm going to be checking it out. I'm going to be checking it out and see.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to say. When these things when we bring these things up and we put it out there for your information, it's not just for you to say, okay, Jared, it's for you to actually utilize this service.
Yeah,
and
because
more
I'm
so-
not going to allow GRA just to have a website you could download forms and follow by hand.
It's crazy.
So I'm going to check it out
It's
and
crazy.
see what's happening there.
But on that note, I would just want to remind persons also that NIS had put out this WhatsApp service in which they were going to be giving responses if you send your questions, your queries to this WhatsApp number, those WhatsApp numbers. So again, we're hoping that these are baby steps in the right direction and that those things would follow through to be successful. Unlike the domestic violence.
And
hotline.
again, I'm very happy that you mentioned that, because next month we're going to be featuring a company that we use at our end to help us out with WhatsApp, and it's been a real cost saver to us. And I don't know how many of you have a small business that it may be a side hustle, or it may be your main source of income, but a small business. But you want to focus more on maybe what you're good at, which is producing your product as against receiving messages and responding to people. And we work with a small business that helps you to do that. They can do the back end for you.
How does that
with
work?
the right information. So one of the challenges you have is, if let's say you have a Instagram storefront,
Got you.
right, and people are messaging you for costs and so on. Because that's not your main thing. You may be at GRA working your full-time job,
Gotcha.
but you need somebody to be responding to messages and costs and that kind of stuff. If something might be ready or so on, these guys can help you do that.
Okay.
So that's how that we're going to be talking to you in a new month.
But that is
about that.
That's a service sector playing
Yeah.
its part, and the service sector
Yeah.
has been booming throughout the world for the last decade. I must say, service sector has been doing amazing things. That's why I keep saying the persons that are joining, especially persons that are residing in Guyana, young people, that this it's like a blank slate. There's so many things that have never been done here before. So explore, be creative, make sure that you use your mind and just go out there and do things that are necessary. Provide services that you think that is necessary.
And don't just be saying you're getting work. You gotta push. You gotta push. You gotta
Yep,
push.
most
So
definitely.
the e-service that GRE is going to be offering, we want to say kudos for that. And good morning to all the folks down at GRE who are doing exceptional work in that area. Good
Yeah.
morning to you guys. And I'm going to be testing the service to see, if it
Yes.
is what it is.
Well, GR is quite a team. I know
Quite a
Mrs.
team.
Mrs. Stacia at the helm there. So congrats for that particular incentive and I hope persons go forward and utilize the service that's being provided. Give us a feedback. Let us know how it's working.
Yeah. Go forward and be great. Go forward and be great.
Yes.
Trina, what else? What else is on the trend?
Well, I'm not sure about how you are going with the trend this morning, but
You go right ahead.
I want to actually focus on the fact that over the last couple of days, we saw two articles. One actually saying that the family offers 1 million reward to locate a missing U.S. man, and then another article coming up that says the citizen was found alive and well.
But it's where he was found, right? I
So-
thought it was interesting. $1 million because this gentleman went missing, who is a U.S. citizen. I don't see his name in the notes, but he went missing. That's the main part. He went missing for a couple of days,
Yep.
and then they said that he turned up in a hotel in Hatfield Street.
Now, how does that work, Sharon?
A
Explain
hotel
that
in
to me.
Hatfield Street. Nice time. That's what I
Oh
call
my
it.
God.
A long Pago weekend. My brother needs to just unwind. He needs to unwind. Right? So he's there in a hotel in Hatfield Street. Nice time.
I
Next time you cause your family a lot of concern, maybe you can tell them you're going to the hotel.
Oh my goodness, Sharon.
Right?
This is
You're
not
going
nice.
by the nice time by the
So
short
it
time.
says, I just want to pick up the first article that we received that says a U.S. citizen of Vincent Guyana has been missing for 4 days, and his family is offering
4
$1 million reward for any information as to his whereabouts. It says Rohan Mangra, also known as Paul of Lot 98 Hughes Road, Commons Lodge, was last seen on the 15th, March 15th, when he left home around 8:05 p.m. And he said he was reportedly picked up by a car in front of a printery located at the corner of the UG Road
I know
and
the area.
6th Street. I know that area well too, right? Commons Lodge.
It's the whole house
Since
he going to.
then-
Sorry, the
since-
hotel on Hatfield Street.
Since then, he has not returned home, and calls to his number has revealed that it is
No way in them short
it's
time you want me to disturb
turned
you.
off, right? So I don't know what Sharon is talking about. People don't mix me in this.
But
right? So,
you want anybody to disturb you? You have a nice
So-
time, 4 days long weekend.
Huh?
You say you had a good time in the interior by the Harlem Pits. Well, Rohan went in to pits in Hatfield Street.
and I was looking at the extraction of gold. Okay? That was
You
my
was extracting
reward.
the your gold. But you can let your family know where you're going, folks. I mean, I learned as a child, always say where you're going. If you're moving
Yes.
from there, you're diverting, and from there, you gotta let somebody know. Come on now, Ron is a big
So,
person.
as a follow-up to that report says that the ranks of the major crime unit of CID today arrested several persons and found 29-year-old Rohan Mangra, who was reportedly missing.
Among them?
Right. So, according to investigators,
29 in the hotel? In
according
the same room? as well?
29-year-old.
Oh, sorry. 29 people?
They arrested several persons,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's according to
But on what basis?
investigators,
It says-
relatives made a report to the police, as we just said, and they stated that he was missing. So what it is saying here is that relatives provided the police with photograph of the person and his mouth covered with duct tape, which they say was sent to them via WhatsApp from an unknown person, right? So
All the time in the hotel?
immediately, ranks from the major crime unit and the CID headquarters were assigned to the investigation, and several of Mangra's associates were arrested and questioned by the ranks. Consequently, acting on intelligence, investigators went to a hotel on Hatfield Street, where they found Mangra alive and well. Right, he was questioned
kidnapped?
by investigators. When questioned by investigators, it revealed that he was not abducted and he went to the hotel on his own free will.
And ended up with duct tape on his mouth.
And photos sent to his relatives.
I think the
So
photos
kinda
were sent to the
cute,
wrong,
right?
it's the wrong chat. In the hotel in the Hatfield Street. Duct tape on his mouth. Nice time, I told you that. Nice time. He didn't get abducted. He left home on his own free will. And went to
But the
Hatfield Street.
tape on his mouth.
Tape on his mouth. Interesting. Are there videos out there? And there were videos happening this.
I thought the police is doing an injustice for
Interesting.
not releasing
But you know, the
these
moral of the
photographs.
story is when you're going out, you gotta let people know where you're going. I mean, that's like going out 101.
Going out 101.
Let people. I'm certain you let people know where you're going, Georgia. When you're
I don't
leaving
have
home.
a choice.
Even a long weekend in Region 7, in all kind of mining pits,
Of course.
right? People knew where you were.
Of course, most definitely.
Good.
But,
John Doe was with you, or he knew where you were.
He knew where I was.
He knew where you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't take people away.
Happy to
with
have
me.
you back. Happy to have you back.
So,
You don't. You
I don't carry people.
you don't walk with tails.
No.
No. So you went alone.
Alone, of
Alone.
course. Most definitely.
It's madness. It's madness. Yep. What else
But
happening?
that is most
Yeah.
crazy.
But I
this
want to know
morning.
who found out he was there. Because they're working on a tip. There was a reward offer.
Well, they
Who
actually
gets the-
questioned
who gets
his
the reward?
friends, so his friends apparently knew where he was,
Mhm.
where he were, because working they arrested a couple of his friends and questioned them, and then they knew where he was.
I still want to know how he ended up with duct tape on his mouth and all that.
Oh my!
But he wasn't
goodness.
abducted or so on.
This is, guys. Listen, I think it's a serious. Well, if there was any maliciousness on his part, in faking any of that, if any of that is so, I mean, I'm just out of the abundance of caution, I'm going to use my words very carefully. But if anything like that went on, I think it is very serious, because
Yes,
you do
very
not
much so.
you do not engage the our limited resources at
That's
the police
money.
force.
I was coming there.
Exactly, you do not engage our limited resources of the CID and so forth
Yeah.
for such things.
For
You
fun.
know, this is not a game.
Yeah.
So-
And then you in a hotel room with duct tape on your mouth, faking it.
Handcuffs and so.
To use Rita's word, you were faking it.
Were there handcuffs?
She's extrapolating. If there's duct tape, then there's handcuff. You see the way the mind works? Once there's duct tape, you're handcuffed. But that being said, moving along.
Guys.
Moving along.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got some information now that suggests that well, I think this is going to be part of the big issue. COVID-19. That's what I was looking at on the morning trim. I think we're going to deal with COVID-19 substantively in the big issue. But we had some challenges down there at 63 Beach. A lot of beach goers went down. I don't know. I feel like it's providence. I feel like it's the Almighty saying, y'all know y'all should not be here because COVID unfinished. But a lot of folks were out there on 63 Beach, on the quarantine of 63 Beach in Berbice, and they took their cars right down there to the seafront, right? That's the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, to the seafront, and they couldn't get the cars to move in time. And what was interesting is the tide was coming in, and you had hundreds of cars that were backed up. Now, I'm still trying to get some additional information to exactly, did some of the cars go under or what have you, or were they able to move all the cars out in time? But you had a little panic there, and of course, because if you're trapped on the beach with your vehicle, and then the tide is coming in, and there are hundreds of cars in front of you, it was like something out of a movie. Folks, take a listen and take a look.
Beach Critics coming to you live at number 63 Beach. As you can see, all these vehicles are trying very hard to exit the beach as the water is approaching them. Hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. Right now, worried they're gonna be stuck. Hey driver, ba't tapang parking? Look how far you get stuck by.
Some parents.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Guys, there you have it. Persons that are out there that actually go to that beach need to be more careful as you see the tide coming in. Persons, I'm from Region 7. I keep saying it. So when it comes to anything to do with water and stuff like that, I'm very familiar with those altogether. And that tide comes up really, really quickly. So persons that are not aware of how that works would be caught up there, in all the
But
excitement and all of that.
I think because we live in a tropical country, we don't pay so much attention to the weather as we should. Right? Like how often when you're going out, you check to see if it's going to rain or something. We just once it's sunny outside, when we're ready to leave, we gone.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to check things like that. You're going to the beach.
The tide, you have to
when
check
it's
the tide.
yeah, when it's high
When
tide, when
tide
it's low
coming
tide,
in.
and all of that.
Yep.
Because the last thing you want, and we don't have like any details as to whether any of the vehicles were really stuck there, and then the tide coming out of the salt water in the engine and so on. That's
Actually, there was a situation prior, some time back, with one of a vehicle that was actually stuck in tide came in and washed into the vehicle. So it's not the first time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go out there that goes for the first time, that has absolutely no knowledge of how the tide works and so forth. But I do believe, and let me say this, I do believe when there are public spaces as that particular space, that numerous people frequent that area, especially now, given all the confusion with COVID regulations and relaxing of those and all of that. I believe that the authorities have a responsibility to actually put persons there that are going to be directing how and when people should be going in, what capacity should be in there, and what time they should start leaving. Most importantly,
very well.
So that is something to discuss.
Very well. And guys, that might have gone by a little fast. So could we have that once more? The tide coming. It's quite scary.
Just critics coming to you live at number 63 beach. As you can see, all these vehicles are trying very hard to exit the beach as the water is approaching them. Hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. Right now, worried they're gonna be stuck. Hey driver, ba't tapang parking? Look how far you get stuck by.
Wow.
Yep. That's a little scary. I don't know. That's a little scary. I feel like it's a movie. Time is running out. Will they make it up?
Yeah.
We got to get some details for you guys as to
Most definitely.
how did that turn
And
out.
type of vehicles are there even with the wet sun, and so once the tide start washing, they get stuck very, very easily. Again, if you don't know of these areas, don't go just like that, and make sure that you are leaving quite early. But again, I must say that when persons frequent areas in large numbers, public spaces as such, then you definitely need to have persons that are assigned higher paid to monitor that altogether, because it's our responsibility to protect human lives.
Yeah, and again, there's an area in which our development has to move.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to a beach, there is no lifeguard there assigned to that beach by government, paid by government. People just go and swim and have a merry time, and what happened happened.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Right? And perhaps if you had some person stationed there, we'll be able to tell patrons, tide's going to be coming in. You need to leave at
Literally start walking around and saying
yeah.
vehicles it's time to leave. Go.
Yeah.
The tide is coming in.
So
because
we're going to follow that and give you guys additional details as they become available. But our person of interest this morning, or POI, or person of interest, is none other than drum rolls.
Well, most interesting. This is a very interesting person for me personally also. But our person of interest this morning is none other than Christopher Ram.
Yeah.
Christopher Ram. That's a person of interest this morning. He has been quite a voice out there over the years. Christopher Ram has he has either pleased your heart with his writing or upset your spirits at some point in time. But he has been a tremendous
Advocate, yeah,
influencer and
influencer,
advocate
yeah,
all
correct,
together, and
correct,
he very learned person out there, and someone
yeah.
that someone to admire. You know, Christopher Ram isn't in his forties. Christopher Ram is out there,
He big,
a big man
he big,
actually out there,
but he
still
got sense.
fighting. He's still fighting,
Yeah,
still making sure that his voice is heard, and he lend his years of experience and comments to situations that is in dire need of re
leadership, leadership. You know, Christopher, I'm big, he
I,
big,
I was
but he
gonna
got
say
sense.
restructuring, but
Right? Same
leadership is a
thing,
better
same
word.
thing.
Yes.
Needs leadership. Christopher Ram, as you guys know, is an attorney at law. He's also a qualified accountant.
Yeah.
And Christopher Ram is an advocate for transparency and good governance and all those things. And as Rita said, sometimes he irritates you, but most of the times, you know, he's spot on. And he's been more recently speaking out a lot about transparency and good governance needed in the oil and gas sector. And who can doubt him? Fantastic
Well,
fella, fantastic human being.
yeah.
Again,
Most definitely, and one of some of the things, you know, when it comes to his experience, because when we were looking at person of interest this morning, I pulled up some of the things that Christopher Ram was actually doing, and in his list of experience, it says that in excess of 25 years experience in senior positions in international auditing firms, as well as financial consultant to the regional government for several years. It says he successfully challenged companies in Guyana on corporate governance issues, and he conducted seminars in the Caribbean on various business and economic issues, including corporate governance, and is currently engaged in, well, at that time on the CARICOM by CARICOM to complete a chapter on corporate governance in the Caribbean trade and investment report. And that was the report that was being put together in 2005. Guys, Christopher Ram has done quite a lot in his
yeah,
years.
his body of work is
And,
remarkable.
Yep.
Right? His body of work is remarkable.
Most definitely. But I want to just go into his education a little bit. He said received primary and secondary education in Guyana, of course, and studied for professional qualifications partly in Guyana and later in the Southwest London College in 1970 to 1973. I wasn't even being considered. My board wasn't even being considered in those
He big, but he
years.
got sense.
All right. So when you have those years of experience, it takes a lot, and we lend on the knowledge of these persons. And I read Christopher Ram's writing all the time because I have to dissect it to see. You know, there's so much to learn every single time these people put pen to paper.
Yeah,
So much to learn.
So much to learn indeed. And as we said, one of the issues that Christopher Ram has been speaking out about again is transparency in the oil and gas industry, and in particular of late, this $2 billion,
Yes,
this $2
most
billion
definitely.
full coverage insurance by the oil and gas sector, in particular ExxonMobil, and seeing that is insufficient. And folks, for those of you who now join the program, the guy said I should say welcome. So welcome to each and every one of you. And for the hundreds of you who are watching us, why don't you share the live stream for us and smash that emoji button, share, Twitter, share.
Yes, what he says,
Share.
what he does.
And smash that emoji button as well.
Share. Make sure that you do your part. I keep saying that you are not contributing enough. I am just being a little easy right now. But you're not contributing enough if you don't share it, because it's one thing for you to get the information, but in order for other persons to benefit as well, you need to share the live stream that you can cover it.
I love that.
All right,
to share.
Guys, so.
That being said, but I want us to look at what Christopher Ram is doing in terms of speaking out about this insufficient insurance coverage. But what's happening are some of the other outstanding issues in the oil and gas sector. I know the guys have that for us; they can pull it up. But quite a few issues people are still peeved about that are not clicking in the oil and gas sector. The outstanding issues in the oil and gas sector. For instance, we had a lot of talk from the current regime about the production sharing agreement, the PSA, that was signed initially by Janet Jagan way back in the day with 1% royalty. The coalition managed to get another percent out of ExxonMobil, so there's 2% royalty. But there are folks who are of the opinion that they should be at 50%.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
That should be at 50%. Again, the full coverage insurance there is a major issue. It's at $2 billion right now. And Mr. Alistair Rutledge of ExxonMobil had said that ExxonMobil is ready to is committed to paying all legitimate costs. I mean, a lot of play on words there. The legitimate costs.
Yes.
That's one issue. And then Guyana has also failed thus far to audit the 9.5 billion, right, in pre-production costs for ExxonMobil. There was an initial 3.5 billion, let's say 4 billion that was audited by APNU AFC. But since these guys have come in, there's another audit that has been pending, right? And the minister with responsibility for this sector, Mr. Vikram Bharat, had said that in one report in February last month, in one report in the media, he said our team at the ministry and at the ESO Exploration and Production Guyana Limited, at that company, they are working through some details that should be finished soon. There were some questions, and we are working through those, and then the company will finish, or the identified, or the company IHS will finish it from there. But again, there has been no audit to date of this 9.5 billion that has already been spent. Mind you, this is money that we have to pay.
Yep.
That we have to pay back to ExxonMobil for the production of this oil and gas. And if we don't know what was spent, if we don't know, in Mr. Rutledge's words, what were the legitimate costs, then we could be overpaying. We could be overpaying. So that's another issue. And then there's the open-ended cost recovery period. Right? They can keep claiming, these costs run on for 25 years. 30 years, and you just keep paying money out all the time. So that's another issue. Flaring is another issue in the oil and gas sector. Flaring, right? We seem to be saying to them, as long as you give a little money when you flare, pump, baby, pump and flare and flare.
And so much for the environment.
And then last but not least, another issue is the ring fencing protections that are afforded in the 2016 PSA. But, as we said, Mr. Ram is very, very adamant that this 2 billion insurance for the oil and gas sector is not sufficient. It isn't at all.
Most definitely, and I have to, and on that note, we can agree with what Chris Ram has been saying, what he has been saying over the past 2 months, more so. He has been very vocal, and one of the things that came out even in yesterday's paper, I believe it was the Kaiser News, was that Chris Ram was saying that the $2 billion was grossly insufficient to cover the disastrous oil spills altogether. And he has been writing on these things, and he has been speaking out on it, and he has been even actively engaged in protest action when it comes to his position. He's very passionate about that, because I did see Chris Ramo there on the protest line in front when there was the International Energy Conference and Expo. When I was out there, I saw him there as well. So and I did make the comment, I think it was you, Shar, that, to see Chris Ram out there, he's not in his 30s, he's not in his 40s, and he's out there doing his part is quite amazing. A person should take a page out of his book altogether.
So whether you like it or not, Christopher Ram has been advocating a wide cross-section of disciplines, and this is why we've chosen him this morning as our person of interest. But that being said, we want to move forward to our big issue this morning. I think Judy has some information for us.
Well, actually, I wanted for us. I'm not sure if the guys are ready with this bit as yet. Is the guys ready?
The breaking news.
Correct. So, guys, we are getting some breaking news that is coming in this morning. It says we're taking this off of a BBC. It says a plane carrying 132 people crashed in Guangzai Hills. A plane carrying 132 people have crashed in Guangzai Hills. And we're seeing here that, again, we're taking this out of a BBC online here, and it's saying that the China Eastern Airlines Boeing 737-800 was flying from Kunming when this happened. They said the number of casualties and reasons for the crash are not yet known. Rescuers have seen no signs of survivors
Wow.
at this point. So quite a sad
Wow.
bit there.
132.
132 persons aboard this flight. Again, there are a lot of details not out as yet. We have been just making sure that we scroll through all of CNN, BBC, and so forth. But we're giving you it as it is right now. We're definitely going to be giving you an update on this all together. But very, very, very sad bit of information coming out there. Rescuers are still saying that they have not seen any signs of survivors from that 132 persons aboard that flight. Boeing 737-800 there.
Yeah, and I think we have some footage out of another news agency, or rather, they picking up on another report out of another news agency. Take a listen.
飛機失事喺浪南鎮莫朗頓大堂口陳木松。
Yep, and we want to thank Al Jazeera for that footage there.
Yep. Very, very disturbing altogether. Like 132 persons. Just that's always very sad. It's very sad news to report at any point in time.
Yeah,
Too many persons lost
and we're going to be
their
following
lives.
that, folks, and any additional information we have on that bit of breaking news, that a plane crashed there in China with killing 132 persons. We're going to bring any additional information to you guys during the course of the day. The big issue we're looking at this morning is COVID, and there seems to be no coherent policy moving forward on COVID. That's the other thing we want to draw to your attention.
Well, most definitely, COVID has been in the discussion at the forefront all the time, and we don't seem to be going in any direction that is going to make things any bit clearer for you to say, well, this is our direction when it comes to COVID altogether. We were just looking at a video. We were just looking at a video with the persons out there on the beach. And persons, the amount of people out there, just huddled together. And then over the weekend, the Pagua activities throughout the country, all those persons out there again huddled together.
As a matter of fact, the photograph we just showed you for the graphic for the big issue, the photograph we just showed you, that is at the National Stadium over the weekend. Thanks, Guy, for the photograph we just showed you.
Yes.
And you also had a big crowd out there at GCC, the Georgian Cricket Club.
Yes.
That had another big audience. All White Stung had a big audience as well. A lot of patrons went out there to play Pagua, as we say. But to what end, is either we have COVID rules and regulations or we don't, because it seems to be a toss-up, right? Are we still going to be guided by them? We see the administration saying that ministries can implement their own rules and regulations to COVID-19. They're encouraging the wearing of masks. What you don't, you're not mandated to. You're not mandated to show your COVID vaccine. I read one report whereby they're saying they were not going to be checking to see whether you're vaccinated or fully vaccinated if you're coming into the country. But then I see a report in the press just today where the Minister of Health is saying that you must be fully vaccinated. So, there's so much uncertainty. And that's why I've taken a position personally that I'm going to be wearing my mask into the foreseeable future, social distancing as much as possible, washing my hands and so on, because COVID is still real. As a matter of fact, quite strangely, on the 17th of this month, the deputy director of PAHO was saying that we should be tightening COVID measures.
Correct.
And strangely, just after that, we relaxed them completely.
Coming after the fact that China was having over 30 million people on lockdown because of COVID in that area. So there we were actually relaxing the measures when other countries were tightening it up. So when we look at what Frank Anthony is saying, again, I dare say, I said it last Thursday, it seems that there's a disconnect between the Minister of Health and actually the whole cabinet altogether, because we have so much coming out of the cabinet. We see gazetted orders being circulated, and then there's a Minister of Health coming out with comments that I would say is contrary to those gazetted orders and guidelines altogether. We can't be saying the minister can't be coming out after the fact when the gazetted order is basically relaxing everything and saying that, oh, well, parents, if you have children online conditions, you should go to the hospital. The minister can't be coming out and say after they're saying that you don't need to present vaccine cards and all of that. So, oh, well, you still need to do this. Well, still give businesses the autonomy and so forth, and other agencies to say that they are still keeping the guidelines. So there is this lack of coherence in the policies altogether.
Indeed. And I think we actually have some footage coming out of the Apagua celebrations at the National Stadium over the weekend. Take a look, folks. Take a look.
Okay, there you have that. And just before we even make any comments on that bit there, that video, I just want to actually read both the headline and an extract from what is coming out of Starbuck News today. That is saying the headline says travel to Guyana still requires COVID test and full vaccination. That is being quoted from Frank Anthony himself. And an extract from there says that although it is no longer compulsory to wear masks in public, entry into Guyana would still require persons to be vaccinated and tested, while individual businesses, and just listen to this part, while individual businesses and government agencies can keep whichever of the withdrawn measures they decide.
So the measures are withdrawn or they're not? You can keep whichever of the withdrawn measures. Who sets the rules and the protocols for COVID-19?
Listen,
in this country?
This is madness to the extreme.
Just flipping through my Bible.
This doesn't make no sense at all. And how do you go out there and you tell persons that this is a gazetted order and then persons can keep it? Well, let me tell you what's going on. I have my own understanding of it altogether. And I dare say from where I am sitting, it appears to me that a gazetted orders was put out there to make sure that certain businesses, especially during a time when you have so many activities and holiday festivities approaching, that businesses are not crippled and they are not chained to these regulations. So they have the opportunity to go out there and have promotions and encourage large gatherings. So they are not breaking any law, but in the same time, the ordinary persons are still going to be bombarded when it comes to presentation of vaccination cards and so forth. So again, I see this policy and the fact that the gazetted order was actually signed. I just seen it there being a plaster for the sore of complaints that persons have been getting, especially when it comes to the fact that they had to go to the task force to get permission to keep certain activities and so on and so forth. So now that is through the door. They don't have to do that with the new guidelines. So those are the persons that it was put in place for. But then they also know that it is total madness. So they're going to come back and say that individual businesses and government agencies here can keep whichever of the withdrawn measures they decide. It is absolute nonsense that government go out there and set guidelines and withdraw measures and then at the same time come back and say that government agencies can still keep whichever of that. that they decide to keep. It is nonsense. It is madness. It needs to be corrected. It needs to have coherence in what is going on. And I dare say that the cabinet need to include Frank Anthony when they are having discussions and having talks on COVID, because it is clear that he was not a part of that discussion altogether.
And that's why I said leadership is what is lacking. First and foremost on these issues, leadership is badly lacking on them. It's either we have withdrawn the COVID protocols or we haven't. It's either we have withdrawn the entry requirement where COVID-19 is concerned for the airport, or we haven't. One day the government says one thing, Frank says something else.
Yep.
Right? One day the government says one thing, Frank comes in next day and says something totally different. There is no coherent protocol as to how you go forward, and it's not that difficult. Most countries in the Caribbean have done it or are doing it.
Yep.
Right? You have specific guidelines that tell you how we're moving forward as a country. Now, one minister say one thing the next day, then Dharmlal says something else. Ejil got his own tune he's singing from his own hymn book, and then Frank saying something totally different.
But what is I'm trying, you can't make sense out of it altogether. What is the point in saying locally that you don't need to submit your vaccination card? You can go around the country and transact business, whatever. You don't have to. Well, that's basically what the order was saying. And then now you were saying that, oh, well, when you're coming into the country, you need to show your vaccination card. Like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, I'm trying to understand that. What are you trying to achieve by doing that? Yeah. I don't get it.
Even the testing is not compulsory. So when you see,
but it's not
13 COVID. No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about locally.
Okay.
So when you see only 13 COVID-19 cases detected, that's not a true picture at all, because we have covered here in this very program the administration saying that even if you do the home test and you're positive, you don't need to tell them.
Well, they have encouraged home testing and basically said that some persons do the home test, and if they're positive, then they can come, but there's no compulsory requirement for them to actually report that. And then they also had a report saying that they were not going to be just testing people randomly, and only critical persons that were going to be tested by the public hospital. That's not the case altogether. So when you see the numbers coming out and being projected that there's 40-something new cases, and that's a grossly inadequate misrepresentation altogether. It is not close to the truth. There's no bit of facts coming behind that. I think that number should be withdrawn altogether, and just don't report the number at all instead of giving people false information.
Just look down the road. What happened?
You're giving people false information when you know that you are not testing persons unless they're critical. You're giving people false information when you have advocated for at-home testing, and also saying that persons that are not required, not even if they said they were required, they had no way of tracking that. But the numbers are grossly misrepresented, and I don't think that persons should be even following those numbers altogether anymore.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
You know, it would be great to see all of the COVID guidelines moving forward in one single document. It'd be good to see that airport, what's happening nationally.
Yeah.
You know, you're encouraging people to wear the mask, don't wear the mask. You know, social distance, don't social distance. Could we put that together in like one document for circulation? That could be helpful.
You have high hopes.
That could be helpful.
You're asking a lot.
That being said, folks, that's our time, I think, this morning.
Yeah, well, that's our time. We took some more of your time.
And give you back some extras. But folks, we really want to encourage you guys that you not only share the live stream and smash that emoji button, but you also partner with us. It's so important that we meet our monthly obligations at our end, guys, to keep doing more of these programs, folks. You know, somebody just over the weekend was asking me, what do we do with the funds that are sent? Well, we got a small staff that needs to be paid. Lights need to be paid for. The internet needs to be paid for. Our studio space needs to be paid for. Guys, lots of the other services that are built in, like the graphics work and all of that, keeping the back end of the website, the righteous for the website, all of that has to be paid for. And it's a tidy bit, folks. It's a tidy bit. And so we're encouraging you guys, all of it goes back to doing those things. To come on board and to partner with us, we're available, guys, several platforms just for your convenience. We have the Cash App, that is the $ in the ring 592. Then we're available on Zelle and PayPal as well. Yep. One email address, in the ring 592 @gmail.com. That's the email address there. available via MMG, available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. Our MMG number is the same number. You can reach us if you need any guidance in any one of these. You can WhatsApp us at our MMG number, which is 627-6963, 627-6963. Folks, come on board with us. Those of you who've done so in the past, come back on board with us and partner so we can do more of these programs. You know, it funds the morning program, and it funds the Below the Belt podcast. It funds the FYI. It funds the In the Ring in the evenings. It funds what happens with our website and all of that. And we're certain by now you're having a good sense that your dollars are well spent with us. Those of you who've done so in the past, come back. And those of you who are doing so, we are so grateful. And those of you who haven't as yet, consider doing so.
Most definitely, Sherrod, I couldn't have said it better, but I think one of the more important things that your fund goes to is actually the equipment and the technology altogether that is utilized. And we want to expand. We want to make sure that we can do more in the space of time that we have. So the more technology we integrate into the system, it will be better for everyone, and more information you will be receiving. So thank you for the person that have been partnering, and make sure that you continue to do so. This is all you. This is what I can say. This is all you, and without you, and this could not be possible. So remember
Thank you,
that
guys.
all the
Thank
time.
you, guys. You make it possible.
Yeah.
You make it possible. Thank you so much. That's
So
our time.
we see Beatrice. I want to just give Beatrice a shout out. Beatrice says she was late this morning, but Beatrice, is always a pleasure to have you here with us in Glennis's Mingo Board, and all you wonderful people. Make sure that you are back here in the morning at 8 a.m. and also make sure that you're back this midday for Below the Belt at 12, and then again in the ring at 8 p.m.
Chetram is here. I see Chetram is here. I got Ramgagadat. Fancy surname there, Julia.
Yes.
Is here as well. Right. Good to see you. Ingrid Kate is here, and Beatrice Selby and Michaela Webster. JG is here, and Cherry Baskin and Robbins. Folks, do us that big favor. We got a couple of days left in the month. We got a lot of financial responsibilities to meet. Come on board and partner with us and help us to move our processes forward. Help us to move our programs forward and touch our hearts in that way. You come every morning, you soak up the information. We love having you guys. It's our passion, bringing you this news and information, edutainment, all of the good stuff, folks. Help us to meet our responsibilities at our end. Partner with us.
I like the word edutainment.
Respect and manners to all of you guys. Go right ahead and have a great day.
Have a good day, guys. See you tomorrow.